Let's get into it. The Gold Coast Titans, they finished last year in 13th position. 6 wins, 18 losses, minus 205 was the for and against, and that's just not good enough. Sam Verrills is a key in. Joe Stimson's there as well. Really interesting around Kieran Foran going up there as well. So you start looking at the spine of this side and you're wondering how Justin Holbrook settles on this. This is an interesting watch, Mick.
It is, and it was around this time heading into the 2022 season where they let Jamal Fogarty go and didn't really recover from that in a sense because they shifted AJ Brimson from fullback into the halves and, he didn't really find his feet that well. Jaden Campbell looks like he's going to be some sort of player at fullback, but I still think AJ Brimson's best position is at fullback. Where does Foran slot in? Obviously, he's going to be a starting half, but does he direct the team around? I think Sam Verrills is a huge inclusion for him. I think he's a great signing because they really struggled at dummy half over the last couple of seasons, but I'm just not sure if they've got that mix right.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. So if you look at a spine, as we always do, so you could start with AJ Brimson at fullback, Kieran Foran, Toby Sexton, Sam Verrills.
Yep.
But as you say, I think Jaden Campbell is clearly an NRL standard player.
Yes.
Might be even better than that. So how do you make use of that? Are you convinced on Sexton?
And they're not convinced on Sexton because he obviously lost his spot at the back end of last season. And, he's a young guy and it's hard for a young half in a struggling side. And we saw the ramifications of that at the back end of last year where he just didn't play.
So if you're a secure coach or your position's secure, then you've got time, right? And maybe you've got time and you say, look, I back Sexton. 23 is going to be another building year for him, but we'll get the benefit in 24, 25, 26.
Yeah.
So Justin Holbrook doesn't have that, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah. I think off the back of a lame year in 2022, he definitely deserves to start 2023 in charge, but another poor season, and I think his head's on the chopping block, no doubt about that. And the signing of Kieran Foran just shows they got the Fogarty decision wrong.
Right. They're trying to paper over that.
Have to, because if you're signing a veteran half, well then, and you let your one go, who was your captain, then you've got your hands on and said, yep, we've stuffed up here, and they've got that balance wrong. And I just don't know how they get the best out of Campbell and Brimson in the same starting side, because they both need to start because they're both electric players.
Yes.
But is Brimson a 6? I'm just not sure.
I don't think you can play Campbell anywhere else.
No.
Right?
He looks like he's going to be a player.
Well, wait for the stories to come out. He's put on 5 kilos. Yeah. That's what's going to happen because physically he needs to continue to develop. Yeah. But he has the frame to be able to do that. Yeah. And when he moves, he's just one of these elite players. So Tigers first up away, Dragons away, Storm at home, Cowboys at home, up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, back to home for the Dragons.
It's an okay start.
Yeah.
But, a lot's going to be made of David Fifita's form again, whether he can go. I thought Fotuaika was poor in 22 after a really strong 21. I thought in 21 he had the looks of a guy that was going to go to that elite level of forward play and just probably didn't reach those same heights. So, a lot of question marks over the Titans. I can't see them doing anything significant in the competition.
The Fifita one is really interesting too, but Fotuaika, Isaac Liu went out of a really good system and then I think struggled.
And there's some suggestions he might be off to the Warriors.
Okay. Tino Fasuamala-Awi, at times he carried
him on his own.
Side, yeah.
On his own. He really just rolled his sleeves up. Young guy, still in his career, in his infancy, and really rolled his sleeve up and said, all right, guys, not much is working for us, but I'm going to try and lead us out of it. And I thought he was sensational.
So the interesting one will be out of the Kangaroo Tour, he didn't get a lot of game time, but what do you learn?
Yeah.
And he gets us later physical preparation because he's got to have the 8 weeks off and all of that sort of stuff. So how he comes back and plays is going to be crucial, not just for the Titans, but for the future of Justin Holbrook.
Yes.
Which is incredible. What's your take around the Fifita situation? Is David Fifita playing at the Titans next 24?
Not for... I'm not. I think Canberra are going to go hard for him.
Right.
I think Canberra have got Fifita in their sights. It's hard to know. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to lie, but I know he's going to cop a significant pay cut.
Which almost has to, right? Because he's being played, well, even with the 25% ratchet it's or 18% ratchet for the individual player. He's just an outlier. The manner in which he was being paid, and good luck to him. Right?
Yeah.
Well done to you on that one.
But he's not
Dave.
$1 million player.
No, not the way he's played last year.
I wouldn't even. I still don't see how any club could justify giving him $1 million.
They paid him that amount to get him there to change the narrative around the Titans.
Yep.
So we know that. But they also then thought on continued improvement of David Fifita, and in fact, he probably regressed. So that's the problem.
And you look at someone like Tino, who it wasn't on anywhere near the money of Fifita and the effort and commitment that he put into trying to turn that side around, and that just wasn't there for Fifita.
And I reckon when the narrative starts around, that's what you're getting paid, then the additional pressure comes, and then you start looking very closely. Well, what is your actual contribution during the game? Anyway, all right, Gold Coast Titans, you have them in your 8.
No, bottom 4.
Wow, adamant.
Where would you have them?
14th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in agreement.
Yeah, I know. But I just, shock, outside the 8. So actually, for those people who are asking how many sides we had in our top
not me,
4.
you.
No, hang on.
You've got 12 teams in your top 8.
No, I haven't. I've gone through and
Have you?
Yeah, I've started to put actually a number on it because I thought I'm getting
Why don't we wait till the
away.
end of the week for that one?
Good idea, Michael.